Hey everybody, this is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. And my last guest of tonight's show, award nominating recording artist. Man, she had that song, the Trigger song. When I heard that song, I was like, man,
Oh,
it-
thanks.
it's the feels. It's the feels for it, man. So singer, songwriter, award nominating. She's a terrific artist, and I'm happy to have her on this evening. Jennifer Alvarado is joining me right now. How's it going?
Great. I hope you're well as well.
I'm doing all right. Appreciate you being here. I know we had this interview rescheduled, so here
Yeah,
it is on the
about that.
rescheduled date. So happy to have you on. Uh Talk about how did you get started in music? How did it start off for you?
Yeah, so honestly, music has always been part of my life. I think most musicians can kind of say that to some degree, but I started writing little songs and stuff when I was about four. My grandparents were really influential as far as my grandfather played several instruments when I was growing up. And so I would go to their house and constantly be around music. And so it was just something that I knew. It was something that came I mean, it was like breathing. It's what I listened to from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep and even when I was asleep. So got really started in church ministry and music. That was my biggest I guess outlet was church, and grew up being a worship leader, singing in choir, all that kind of stuff. Actually went into full-time ministry for several years. I'm still a worship pastor, but I started doing the country stuff back in 2020. So up until that point, I had released a Christian CD in 2015, and was sort of pursuing that and just working full time ministry. And then, of course, 2020 happened, and you have to kind of pivot when you're stuck at home. And I wanted to just kind of start releasing the country pop stuff and see what would happen. And it kind of took a life of its own. Um, and for the past few years or couple years, that's what I've been doing full time is the country stuff. So
Gotcha. So you are originally from Hickory, North Carolina. You're from
yeah.
North Carolina. So and of course I mentioned the Trigger song.
Mm-hmm.
That song is available on the streaming platforms. It's called Trigger Warning.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, your latest single is called Alvarado that
Yep.
came out just last week, actually.
Yeah. Last Friday.
Alvarado's your latest single. So let's start with Trigger Warning
Okay.
first. Talk a little bit about the story behind that particular song. How did that came to be?
Yeah, so I was going through a very like difficult time, or coming out of a difficult time of just sort of not knowing where I was supposed to be with music and everything else. And I had felt very stuck in a situation. And so I started writing that song. And I think over the past few years, especially with social media, trigger warnings have become very prevalent on social media posts and stuff. You're scrolling through and you see a TW or whatever, and so I just started thinking, what if people came with that same type of warning? Like when they first approached you and you saw them coming, they had just a TW across their forehead to let you know that you're probably going to cry a lot and have a lot of self-reflection and try to figure out what's going on because of them. And so that's really what the song is about. It's just taking kind of um, just looking at the situation for what it is. And sometimes people, I believe everybody you meet in life, they're sent for a reason, and whether that's to teach you something, um whether it's to teach you what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing or how you want to be or how you don't want to be. Like there's a lesson to be learned. And with trigger warning, it's about somebody and basically the lessons learned of sometimes you may really love somebody and care about them, but it doesn't mean they're good for you in the end.
Yeah, that's definitely a deep song. Um, put a lot in perspective. Social media does tend to
Yeah.
bring the ugly in people. And of course, that's like, for example, you go to a certain site and they do give you a warning
Mm-hmm.
before you click, especially if you over 21 or over 18, whatever the case may be. Um, so yeah, kind of makes me wish I had that spiders, it kind of makes you wish you had that spider sense, like
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Like he knows danger before it happens.
exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes we find out after the fact and it's like, oh man. So it's puts a lot in perspective there. And I think I played that song actually, Trigger Warning, because I think you was nominated for Josie Music Award, or
I
was it?
was. I was. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Also, you was also nominated for another award. I think it was a Carolina award
Hmm.
as well.
Yep,
So
those are actually in January. So yeah, I'm nominated for a female vocalist award for that.
in your home state, that's awesome. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Um, now let's talk Colorado,
Yes.
which just came out last Friday. Talk about this song.
Yeah, so I love Dan and Shay. They have a song called Tequila, and that song was really popular a few years ago. But it always left me wondering what happened. Like if you listen to the song and the relationship, it's like, okay, if it was that great, what happened? Why did it just fall apart? And so I wanted to write the what happened. I wanted to write the other side of like, yeah, you're remembering all this good stuff, but like you ruined it. Um, so my friend Molly and I went to her with this idea, and I actually had most of it pretty much done, and I wanted her input as far as just the flow and kind of making those real subtle nods back to tequila. But yeah, it's my version of what actually happened with their song.
As the saying goes, there's always two sides to a story. Um, Country musicians, let me just say, as a listener, y'all are very clever with the analogies,
Mm.
especially when it comes to alcohol. Because I
Oh,
listen to these songs, I'm like, the word plays just, and while you in tune, you listening, you vibing to it, and
mm-hmm.
it's like, man, this is some good stuff, man. It's very clever wordplay, clever analogies. I think that definitely can make music very fun. When you can just use your imagination per se.
Right,
I
right.
mean, you definitely like the Dead and Shay song, and kind of left you wondering like what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't even get a to be continued or anything like that. You just left us like waiting. Wow, that's kind of like the trailer of a movie. Like you like what you see, but of course they're not gonna give you
The
everything.
whole story. Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes you being a fellow musician, a fellow recording artist, you take matters into your own hands. And I did listen to Colorado recently, and
Yeah,
I definitely like the tune. I
thank
like
you.
the tune. So
Thank you.
it's a very lovely rebuttal to Dan and Shay. It's quite the rebuttal. Uh, it is available on all streaming platforms. Now, before I hit the record button, we was talking. And
Hmm.
of course, I was wanted to make sure I pronounced your last name correctly.
Yes.
Then I found out weeks back
Uh-huh.
that you refer to your fans as
Hmm.
avocados.
Yes.
So talk, so talk a little bit about that. What honestly that nice play on to your name per se.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what made you decide to call your fan base avocados.
So I actually had a friend that used to really make fun of my husband and I, like our last name. Like she would always call us the avocados. And the more I started playing out and people, started saying my name and stuff, I mean, Alvarado, while it's not difficult, like if you're looking at it just from the first time, like sometimes it can be, and it can be pronounced a variety of ways depending on who's talking and who's doing it. So there was a lot of people that would just get tongue tied and say it wrong. So I would just kind of take that pressure off and be like, just call me avocado. And it kind of just stuck. Like people just started calling me avocado as kind of a joke. And I was sort of like, you know what? Let it be. Like if that's what works, that's what works. So honestly, you can look up Jennifer Avocado and I will still pop up. So I am fine with that.
Wow, that's interesting. So even when they somewhat spell the name wrong, your name still pops up. Like that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
very, very interesting.
I
Like
tried it
imagine
one day just to see if it would do it. And yeah, it's still like it's not as concise, I guess, but yeah, it'll still pop up with the profile. So I'm like, okay, well, that works. Just whatever needs to happen.
so I'm going to circle this day, November 28th, 2023.
Uh-huh.
I, Kenny Commons, am avocado.
Well,
I'm,
thank you. Welcome to the family.
I'm an avocado. I don't know what lane I am. Maybe I'm just a low tier avocado, slowly working my way up. But
To
hey,
guacamole.
yeah, guacamole. I have a feeling that's going to be some more word plays for future songs,
Probably.
future music per se. Um, so you had an incredible year with
Mhm.
these songs, with the award nominations. As you look back and reflect on everything, how do you feel about your 2023 with everything that has transpired?
Um, Obviously, like I feel very honored and very blessed because I know that the fact that I'm able to do this full time. I know that that is a dream of so many people. And so that's something I never want to take for granted and take lightly because I love being able to go out and sing and write songs and do this. And it's something that I always dreamed about being able to do. So I feel very blessed. I feel very honored that people seem to like what I'm doing and uh, seem to think that I'm doing something well. So that's always positive because I want to know that I'm doing well at this and actually moving forward and getting better. Because that's a huge thing. I want to always keep growing. I never want to just sort of, I guess, plateau and just rest on what I've done. So I always look at how can I be doing better? What can I be doing more of? And honestly, as I get to the end of 2023, I'm very proud of some things that have transpired, but I think I'm constantly looking forward and reevaluating what's working, what's not working. And so as we approach 2024, I actually am taking a few weeks off just to sort of sit down and just be strategic this coming year because I think I've been so overwhelmed with touring and playing shows and all of that that it cut into some of the creative side of things. And so I want to make sure that that balance is there for 2024.
That's definitely a good approach to go with. Obviously, people, things can come at you real fast, and you
Yeah,
don't get the time to think and reflect on everything.
right.
I think that will work well for you, and it could definitely help in the long run. It definitely gives you an idea of what is working right and what's
Exactly.
not working right. I think more people should do that, and it's not just musicians. I think it's just people in
Oh no.
general. Um, we all have to look and see what's working and what's not working. It could be like goals, it could be like resolutions. It could be like what do you want to do with your life per se? You
Exactly.
you definitely got a lot going for you, and you definitely want to see what's next, obviously. So good for you taking
Thank you.
that approach, and I look forward to seeing what you have in store in the future. And make sure you keep spinning the Colorado song in your rotation. It's a newbie, just came out just 4 days ago, actually. So go stream Colorado, uh, Alvarado. Here I am trying to whine, and I'm not even a musician.
No,
Um,
I was doing an intro for something and telling them like you were listening to Jennifer Alvarado, my new single Colorado, and I kept messing it up because it's so close. Like it does, it rhymes. And so I was like, wait, is that right? And so I kept doing the intro to the point that I was like, I don't even think my name is right. Like, what is happening? But yeah.
so I see now you have quite the room that you are in. You have some guitars. You got a
Mhm.
nice piano. Now,
Thank
is that your studio that you are in right now?
So this is my home studio. So yeah, I record some stuff in here. But yeah, this is more just this is my music room. This is where I come and all my stuff is in here and I sit down and I write. So yeah.
So to use as we continue this analogies here, and
Hmm.
you did say, you go to church and everything. I
Hmm.
would like let's this is more of your sanctuary, your musical sanctuary that you are in. So that's awesome. I want to thank you, Jennifer, for being on the show. Make sure y'all check her out on all the social media sites. She is on Twitter. Yes, we are still calling it Twitter. At least I am. I'm still
I
calling it
do too.
Twitter. Um, sorry, not sorry, Elon Musk. Facebook, and well, they still call themselves Facebook anyway. And Instagram, I know that Instagram, Facebook, Meta. I'm still calling it Instagram too. So
Yeah.
yeah, check her out on all the social media sites, and she'll keep you posted on what she's got next, upcoming shows, and new music on the horizon. But
Hmm.
until then, continue to play Colorado in your platform of preference. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, it's on all the sites. So go check that out. Jennifer, I want to thank you for being on the show. It's great chatting with you. And congrats on an incredible 2023.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing what you got next in 2024. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, that is going to conclude the interview. Yeah, check out Colorado, available on all streaming platforms, and check out Jennifer Alvarado on all social media sites. Or, as she pointed out, you can type Alvarado on Google, and her name will still pop up. So, yeah, good night, Jennifer.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, bye bye. All right.